Greetings, one and all. This is the old odd one, DJ Odyssey. I'm a little bit tired. Didn't get much sleep, but I just had to give my feelings on the Rise of Skywalker. I saw it last night. I made a few predictions over the last few months. I will admit I was wrong. They didn't kill Lando off, shockingly, but that movie still wasn't that good. It was decent. I will give you the Star Wars movie was decent, but there were some things in it that just perturbed me. And well, I'll go over what I can remember because at one point I started to doze off during the movie. To begin with, my local theater, not a big place, has two little screens in it. I think each side maybe holds roughly 200 or so each. And it was only half full for Rise of Skywalker opening night. And the tickets are only $5. So you can't really say that it was because overpricing tickets, because $5 ain't that bad to get into a movie that just come out. I did like that it gave Carrie Fisher the top billing at one point. Didn't mind that. But the story was just all over the place. It was like forced and tried to cram way too much into it for a 2 hour and whatever it was movie. The whole first half hour basically set up to what was going on, but there was horrible things. I mean, well, hell, at one point, hell, I'm just gonna talk about the ending. The movie did not really superly impress me much. It's like the whole fake Chewbacca's death there at one point, just to find out no, he wasn't actually on the transport ship. There was a second one. The whole Kylo redemption bit, to where Leia decides that she's going to talk to him through a distance and ends up croaking. That's basically how I would explain it. Then Han coming back to talk to him after he gets his redemption. Rey healing him after she stabs him. Right before that, jeez. It just. They did a lot of callbacks to try to please the fans. Or the older fans, at least I would say. But you still got Rey running around as Superwoman that can do anything. And then to bring Palpatine back, like he's even stronger and greater, he's like a god or something. That, and they kind of explain, you have to watch closely because there's a couple of different times where they reference how Palpatine could have lived. But you had to be paying attention to catch it. And it's basically like, hell. If he dies, his spirit goes and jumps into like a clone body. Even though that didn't really make sense because they had him hooked up to life support and he looked like he was all blown apart anyway. The whole life sucking part where he sucks the life out of Kylo and Rey and gets completely healed back up to where he's got a full body working again. That one basically was dumb. Him throwing out the lightning bolts. Now, we saw in Return of the Jedi where he'd shoot force lightning out of his hands when he was attacking Luke and then Vader grabbing him and the bolts. But come on, to be able to shoot it straight up into, well, not quite space because the ships were still all in the atmosphere, not leaving yet, but to hit every ship that's basically fighting alongside the rebels? Come on. You can't be that freaking powerful to do that unless you're basically a god. That was completely stupid. The whole Force Ghost crap. Earlier in the movie, Rey decides to go back to the planet where Luke was hiding out because she's going to hide out now because she found out that she's actually a Palpatine and she just don't want to cause any trouble with the universe, so she's going to hide out the rest of her life. And Luke's Force Ghost shows up and starts talking to her and then lifts his own freaking X-Wing out of the water. Come on, if Force Ghosts have that big of a power and can do that shit, then why the hell do they matter if they die or not? The Jedi could just go around and get killed and then all come back in Force Ghosts and still do everything they were doing while in life, yet can't really be touched because they're a ghost. That was completely garbage there. And then you get the final battle that while Palpatine's shooting the lightning into the atmosphere to hit all the rebel ships and everything else, then Rey decides that she's going to attack him, so he's shooting lightning at her, and she blocks it with Luke and Leia's lightsabers. And managed to focus it back on him to where he fries himself. And then she collapses. And then Kylo, who had been thrown down a big old pit, miraculously survives that like Palpatine did when he fell down the Death Star and blew up. And then he comes back and heals Rey, gives her a kiss, lays down, and fades out. And then the biggest crap that I hated of it all was Rey going back to Tatooine, or going to Tatooine, not even back, she's going to Tatooine for the first time. Goes to where Luke grew up. Miraculously, there's still stuff lying around there, like the Jawas wouldn't have went over there and freaking stole everything by now. After all these years, the place should have been picked clean because the Jawas, that's what they do. They go around and they take everything to fix up and resell. But no, that stuff's still there. So she decides she's going to bury Luke and Leia's sabers there. Some woman comes riding along, asks who she is, and she sits there and claims to be a Skywalker. I think that was the biggest slap. There's no freaking way in hell they should have done that. But hey, don't mind me, I'm eating lunch while I'm doing this, but that was crap. There's no fucking way. They could have at least killed Rey off at the end, let Ben live. Kylo. And at least he could have legitimately claimed himself as a Skywalker, even though he was a Solo. So he could have been Solo Skywalker. Ben Solo Skywalker. But yeah, that's basically my assessment. It was better than The Last Jedi. Not by much. But it was better. But I won't go as far as Anti-Tracker, which I called last night. Anti-Tracker hadn't even went to the movie yet. I got home from the movie long before because I was able to get in at 7 o'clock showing. And I said Anti-Tracker would probably give it about a 6.5. He admitted that it was between a 6 and a 7 today. I say at best it's a 5. At best. That's where I'm leaving it. But that's just my ramblings because I'm the demented pink bunny. You guys have a good day. I think I'm going to go take a nap, rest my brain.